Every night, while the garden appears to be sleeping, this silent hunter begins its patrol. It waits without moving. An insect approaches, and in a fraction of a second, it disappears. This toad works the night shift, helps control garden pests, and never sends you a bill. In the next few minutes, you'll discover what toads actually hunt, how they locate and capture their prey, and why unnecessary chemicals can destroy the free protection they provide. We'll also build a simple, safe toad shelter using an ordinary clay pot, some shade, and a shallow dish of clean water. So, what exactly separates a toad from a frog? The distinction is not as absolute as it may seem. Toads belong to the same broader group of amphibians we commonly call frogs. The word toad usually describes species with a particular collection of traits. A typical toad has relatively dry-looking, bumpy skin, a compact body, and shorter hind legs. Instead of making long, powerful leaps, it often walks or moves in a series of short hops. A typical frog is more likely to have smoother, moist-looking skin and longer legs adapted for jumping or swimming. During the day, a toad usually hides somewhere cool, shaded, and slightly damp, beneath leaves, logs, rocks, or garden debris. As daylight fades and the ground becomes cooler, it emerges to hunt. Toads are generalist predators. This means they do not depend on one single type of prey. They usually capture whatever moving animal is available, small enough to overpower and close enough to reach. Depending on the species, size, habitat, and season, the menu may include beetles, crickets, caterpillars, ants, spiders, centipedes, slugs, and many other invertebrates. Some of these animals may damage garden plants. Others may be harmless or even beneficial. A toad does not understand the human categories of pest and helper. It responds to movement and opportunity. That is why we should not describe a toad as a perfect exterminator, or promise that one animal will eliminate every slug in the yard. Its real value comes from being part of a diverse living system. Alongside birds, predatory insects, spiders, and other hunters, it helps prevent certain invertebrate populations from growing without natural pressure. A toad does not usually waste energy chasing prey across the garden. Instead, it finds a productive hunting position and waits. Its body remains low and almost perfectly still, while its eyes monitor the ground for movement. A beetle crosses an opening. A cricket shifts between the stems. The toad turns its head, fixes its attention on the target, and quietly prepares. Then comes a short, explosive movement. Small prey can be captured with a rapid extension of the sticky tongue. The tongue contacts the animal and retracts almost immediately, pulling the prey into the mouth. For larger or awkwardly positioned prey, a toad may move forward and grasp it directly with its jaws. The entire sequence may last only a moment, but it begins with long, patient observation. Now imagine removing the insects from this scene with a broad-spectrum insecticide. The chemical may reduce the target pest, but it can also kill many other invertebrates. Those animals are the food-supporting toads and other natural predators. The danger is not limited to losing prey. Amphibians have highly permeable skin and spend much of their lives in contact with damp soil, puddles, leaf litter, and shallow water. Contaminants can move through exactly the places where they rest and hunt. The result can be a damaging cycle. Chemicals reduce the prey community and expose natural predators. The predators disappear. When pests return, the garden has fewer animals capable of controlling them, encouraging another round of treatment. A living garden works best when chemicals are used only when truly necessary and with careful attention to wildlife risks. Chemicals are not the only danger. Before mowing tall grass or dense garden edges, inspect the area and give hidden animals time to move away. Toads rely on camouflage and may remain still when danger approaches. Deep buckets, pools, window wells, and smooth-sided containers can become traps. Cover them when possible, or provide a stable, rough escape ramp that reaches from the bottom to the top. Keep curious dogs and cats away from toads. Many toads release defensive skin secretions that can irritate a pet's mouth. Some species produce much more dangerous toxins, depending on where you live. Never allow a pet to mouth, bite, or play with a wild amphibian. If exposure occurs, contact a veterinarian or appropriate animal poison service promptly. Herbicides, insecticides, and slug control products can also harm the toad, its habitat, or the animals it eats. A toad shelter can be remarkably simple. Choose an unglazed terracotta flower pot. Turn it upside down and raise one side slightly with a smooth, stable stone, creating an entrance wide enough for a toad. You can also use a pot with a properly sized opening in the side, provided every edge is smooth and the shelter cannot shift or collapse. Place it in a quiet, shaded corner on loose, slightly moist soil near dense vegetation. Add a little natural leaf litter around the area, but keep the entrance clear. Nearby, provide a heavy, shallow dish of clean water. Include a rough, gently sloping stone so that any small animal can enter and leave easily. Change the water regularly and keep it shallow. Most importantly, do not place a toad inside the shelter. Build a habitat, step away, and let the animal decide whether it is safe. Never collect a toad from a forest, park, roadside, or distant neighborhood simply to bring it into your garden. Relocation causes stress, may spread disease, and leaves the animal in unfamiliar territory where it may not find suitable food, shelter, water, or breeding habitat. Create the right conditions and allow local wildlife to arrive naturally. Avoid handling wild toads unless immediate danger makes intervention necessary. If brief contact cannot be avoided, make sure your hands are clean, damp, and completely free of soap, lotion, sunscreen, insect repellent, or other chemicals. Handle the animal for the shortest possible time and release it close to where it was found, in a safe direction. Wash your hands afterward and never touch your eyes or mouth during the process. Observation is almost always better than contact. If a toad keeps returning, your yard may have become part of its hunting territory. Do not lock it inside the shelter or try to turn it into a pet. Simply provide shade, cover, clean shallow water, and a garden free from unnecessary chemicals. Build a simple toad shelter, and tell us in the comments where you placed it and what visited. Next time, we investigate the bright yellow plant that has been blamed for fall allergies for decades. But its sticky pollen usually travels on insects, not freely through the wind. The real culprit may be blooming nearby, almost unnoticed. You've been blaming the wrong plant for your allergies. So what is actually causing them?